You've been fairly good at understanding or predicting how to disrupt things. What are you looking at the moment as it relates to the fitness space in terms of where you think the next changes are likely to come, whether that's in terms of equipment, the design of spaces, the programs? Are there any things that you're keeping an eye on to say, okay, this is the next thing that may come and shake things up a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm awful at sort of giving away the things that we're about to do, so I'm going to try not to do that. But I do think, we are becoming more knowledgeable about sort of the therapies and wellness sort of opportunities beyond just hardcore sort of fitness that can be very complementary to everything you're doing. I mean, we don't have saunas in our clubs. I'm not sure if we ever will. But some of the science around how regular saunas can lessen your likelihood for dementia or Alzheimer's is becoming now really rock solid, which, I thankfully don't have that I know of anyway in my family. But I mean, that is something that would make me think to go to a sauna really regularly. So I think as the science becomes more rock solid on some of these things, more companies in our sector will start to look to offer those things. I think people are starting to think about longevity in a much more serious way. You spend the first sort of 20, 30 years maybe abusing yourself a little bit too much, but then you soon start realizing you want to be on this planet for a bit longer. And so I think the industry is going to start looking more to how we can react to people's desire to have a much longer and better life. I had some blood tests not so long ago. And I don't think I was treating myself particularly well during the stresses and strains of sort of COVID and that sort of thing. And it was a bit shocking to me. I've been in this industry for a long, long time, but there are things I had to definitely change. And the funniest thing is I just employed what's all out there in terms of knowledge. And within 45 days, I had reduced certain markers by like 40%. Wow. But who takes a blood test? Very few people do it. So I would encourage anyone who's turned 40 to do it for 100%. I learned a lot from it, and will be making changes that will be with me for a long, long time. But what's the fitness industry doing to really talk about this? So I can see us looking more as a sector around preventative things and a focus on sort of longevity beyond just come in and do a 45-minute session and go. And I think that's a great thing. It'd be a good thing.
I've seen Lifetime now are combining the semaglutide therapy with their fitness club. Do you see having a form of medical with like studios and combining those?
So yes, but I can't work out the financial model yet, and so that there will be either I'm wrong or there'll be a time where you see it as like a loss leader. And that's a financial model in itself. You just do it, even if it's going to lose money, or somebody works it out smarter than me. But having medical professionals on site in your business, unless you've got a huge scale, is a challenging one to do. I've not quite figured it out yet. But yeah, I think.
Well, if you look at how much or how little they're getting paid on the NHS, maybe there are quite a few people there that...
Yeah, and it might be that it's collaborations. It might be so there's a minimal viable product where once a month you have someone who comes in and do this sort of stuff. I just think it's like I was listening the other day about how the booze industry, and it's always quite cynical when it's sort of booze or cigarettes, right? But when they look to expand their market, they're recognizing that women weren't drinking as much as men, so they started to do essentially sort of create more pink products, if you like, where everything was a pink gin or a rosé or a beer with ice, and they were deliberately trying to expand their market by getting more women into drinking. I'm not saying that's a shining light at all. It's a bad thing in some respects. But if you think about our sector and you think, okay, well, 80% of my business is 25 to 35-year-olds. Well, obviously there's a realistic business proposition opportunity if I have more of the market, if I'm getting 45, 55, 65-year-olds. So why not let's be in tune with what those people are wanting as well. And I think if I look back over the last 30 years, 60-year-olds were suddenly sort of realizing, okay, I've got to think of longevity. Then 50-year-olds. Now it's 40-year-olds, and I think the next 10 years, there'll be 35-year-olds planning for the next 50, 60 years of their life. So that I guess would be a trend that I would see, but that's a very long-term trend. I don't expect the market to be moving rapidly in that direction, but it's what we're thinking of.
So where are you hoping that One Rebel will be in the next 2 to 3 years, outside of, hugely profitable, but is there any other sort of strategic goals that you guys have got that you're able to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to continue to premiumize the business. We want to lean into some of those aspects that I've just been speaking about for the last couple of minutes. We want to grow the international business in the geographies that we are in. I think our shareholders would like to see sort of an exit in 2 to 3 years. And I think, you're going to have to sort of march me out of this business for me to not be involved in it. So as long as I'm still required, I think the next step after that sort of exit point for those shareholders would be to maybe look for longer term, more patient capital with sort of maybe deeper pockets so that we could, go on the sort of the next phase of our sort of ambitions, which I think is sort of be bigger, bolder, better.
Would you like to be part of that, or are you sort of thinking you want to go and climb some more mountains?
No, I don't know what else I would do, so I love it, and I think what gets me into work every day, especially is, and I'm not just saying this to be cliched, but it's the team. I've got an absolutely wonderful team of really, really good-hearted people who are well-intentioned and hard-working, and it's a joy to be with. So to the extent that I'm still required, I would like to, you have to sometimes match your ambitions with your shareholders' desires. And I think the shareholders now, having gone through an extended sort of investment period through COVID, would like to see a good exit and return. I think I've got to deliver that over the next couple of years, and then maybe new shareholders could align with some of the maybe more loftier goals I would have over a 10, 15, 20-year period, and let me go on the journey with them for that. But they might also have other plans, so who knows?